It's time for Where You Live with Gene and Tony, the show that's all about owning, buying, selling, renting, and association management. If it involves a home, we'll talk about it. Here's your chance to get your homeowner questions answered. From the Concierge Landscape Studios, here's Gene and Tony.
Needed the shelter of someone's arms, and there you were. Needed someone to understand.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're so glad that you could be a part of us this Sunday morning, giving us some of your time. If you're just tuning in right now, we've covered several topics already. We've dealt with, in the last hour here, a homeowner had concerns or board member about employees working at their association and what that meant. We covered that. We're going to be covering now in the second hour this story that comes out of Arizona. A homeowner association, I think there are homeowners that are unclear of what a homeowner association is or what that means, because they want the homeowner association to pay for storm damage, and they don't know why they have to pay.
And they think that their homeowners association is the management company, Caden Community Management.
Yeah, so
probably is not right.
So we're going to be talking about what's what here and kind of dividing this out, because it's a common misconception for people that are brand new to homeowner associations.
That's right.
A little bit later on, we're also going to be talking about a story in Nevada. These folks are the most unhappiest people in an HOA that I've ever seen in my entire
Well, they are,
life.
and that's because they're suffering from psychological problems.
That's right.
And we know that.
And so
because that was explained to us once.
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't it?
From someone in Nevada, yes.
Yes.
But the issue here is people in Nevada have been unhappy with the authority that a board or an association takes with their association. So they said help. They've gotten the state to step in and create these other organizations, these other authorities to answer and to be their savior. And now they're finding out they're not helping them either.
No, in fact, they're making it worse in some cases. And I think this is one of those cases where the homeowners have a gripe, but the organizations and state departments that they helped create only made it worse.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about that as well. But let's move right ahead with this one that says, homeowners want the association to pay for storm damage, not themselves. This is from the ABC affiliate, Channel 13 News in Phoenix, Arizona. It says in Pinal County, Arizona, there is an association called Red Rock Village, and residents are upset about how their developer and homeowners association are making them pay for monsoon storm damages. A lot of places around the country have had these kind of issues this year, Tony.
That's true. Lots of storm damage.
So they had in late August a storm blew over vinyl fences that were set up along the edge of the property.
Well, all over the property, it says, and that might even be fences around yards, mightn't it?
Yep. And one of the homeowners said it looked like just a rag, a sail in the wind, as
Wow.
these fences just blew. Many residents said that they asked for a higher quality fence before they moved in, but they were forced to keep the vinyl fences that are uniform throughout the entire neighborhood. Let's stop
Let's just
here.
pause right there. Let's pause right there.
Let's take a look at that statement.
Yeah.
Tony, this is these are people who truly don't understand the relationship of home ownership or home ownership in an association.
I agree.
You know, you're looking at someone saying they asked for a higher quality fence before they moved in. Well, and then they were surprised that it didn't happen. Our question to you folks here on Where You Live would be, why did you buy then?
That's right. If you were told no, You made the decision to go ahead and purchase.
Yes. You bought the home knowing that there was this vinyl fence, and you don't like it because you think it looks cheap, you think it looks too flimsy, whatever your reasons are. If it's important to you, then don't buy it. That seems pretty simple to me.
It seems pretty clear to me, too. They're also implying in this statement that had they gotten their wish to replace it with something else, they wouldn't be facing this problem of storm damage. Isn't that the implication here?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we're in trouble because our request wasn't granted.
Yes. And I mean, I can tell you that there have been a lot of sturdier components to homes.
That's right.
That have blown all over. Remember here in Minnesota, there was someone who had a sliding door from a patio from a storm that took place, I want to say, in North Minneapolis that took place earlier this year.
Last May.
And someone found it in their backyard in Coon Rapids.
So that's what, 15, 20 miles?
Yeah.
Something like that?
And attached.
Oh, my gosh.
And something attached to the home. So, yes.
Wow.
So the idea that they wouldn't have experienced any of this, you're right.
Had they had a different fence.
That's not true. When something this disastrous takes place.
But they purchased the home as is. They were told this is the way it is, and they purchased it.
And that's an important distinction.
Yes,
Nobody is ever forcing anybody to buy a home.
Oh, they were forced. They said they were forced to keep this vinyl fence.
So it has to be true.
It must be true.
Yeah. So, but nobody forces you to purchase in a homeowner association. And in Minnesota, as well as I think every state that I'm aware of, maybe not the same time commitment, but there is a right of rescission that you have.
And what does that
So
mean?
many days to be able to review what your responsibility is and to understand what it is that you're buying and the obligations that go along with that.
And this is only in a homeowners association do you have these special rights to review all the governing documents, review all the rules and regulations, review your purchase agreement so that you can completely understand what the situation is before you sign the dotted line.
And it's so important that each state gives you time and says,
that's right,
you have a chance to back out
of a deal you've already agreed to, actually, because you've already signed the purchase agreement, haven't you?
If you haven't had the chance to review the documents.
That's right.
But it's the same as buying a car. If you said, I like this car, but I don't like the tan interior, I want to have black. Mm-hmm. And then you just go ahead and buy it, and then you say to the car dealer afterwards, "Why do I have tan? You made me buy."
This tan shows dirt, and I wouldn't have this problem if you'd given me the black. So you owe me a new car.
Yeah, come on,
or
people.
Whatever.
You take responsibility for your life, and you take
should.
responsibility for what you're purchasing here. The next item here, it says, besides after some of the homeowners lamented and said the HOA is forcing us to rebuild the same fence, this cheap fence that we
never wanted
like
in the first place. Yeah.
Let's address that issue too, folks. If there is a reason why the same fence is going to be put in again, and that is not all of the fences blew down.
That's right.
And there is something that's called architectural control in a homeowners association.
That's right.
And so they're going to make sure that the same material, the same style, the same colors going up, because it would look a lot less out of place than if there was a hodgepodge of
And
whatever.
There's a couple of really good reasons for this, for the uniformity. One is the way the property looks. It has been proven year after year after year, decade after decade, that the more uniform a homeowners association appears, the better the values of the properties. They stay stronger, they rise faster.
Do you remember that one guy who did that opinion piece we shared on the show a couple of weeks ago? He didn't like being in a homeowners association.
Yes.
And then he said, I went to live in a single-family home.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he was complaining because he realized this guy never takes his garbage can in. This guy
painted his house a horrible color.
This guy's working on his car out here.
Yeah.
And he thought, maybe there's some things.
Those were the benefits. The second reason is that in a homeowners association, common elements are maintained and repaired by the homeowners association, generally speaking.
That's right.
Every association can be slightly different. We don't know what the situation is here. But if it's a common element that all the members have to maintain as a whole, then there has to be architectural control over what can be erected and what can be added, because the association does not want to get stuck maintaining your new fence if they didn't want it in the first place or can't afford it.
And there's so many other things here, too. In this particular case, we're talking about a situation where the developer, in this case, was Pulte.
Yeah, it seems the developer is still involved here.
Still involved.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole nother strata of issues here, too, that I think we need to deal with. But it looks like we're going to have to take a break. So let's do that. And when we come back, we're going to talk about this lament that homeowners have. Why do we now have to pay for these things? Isn't the homeowner association going to take care of it? We're going to answer that question and so much more here on Where You Live with Gene and Tony on AM 1280 The Patriot. Back after this.